linemen, the big guys, you worry about a lot with the heat. We're going in Mellencamp a lot, and that gets them out of the sun. And there's still some breeze in there with those big garage doors open. So, but yeah, we're very conscious, and we talk to them all the time about making sure they hydrate. And part of hydrating is eating. And we monitor their weight loss and gain, practice by practice. So we're trying to do everything, but we are being smart because it's plenty hot out here.
I know it's early, but what have you seen so far from Barnett and Bush?
Both have played well. Lawrence is just getting back in the swing of things because of the injury he had in the spring. And, he was set back this summer because he couldn't do all the same working out. But he's such a competitor, and he's a really good cover guy. And we got to be, we got to be smart with him as we go through until we get him back in the type of condition it takes to play a whole football game. But what I've seen, he's been good. He's made plays, and he knows the coverages. He's a smart player. Bush, Bush is, it's his intensity that he brings that makes him a really good football player. He's playing a little different position than he's played before, and so there's a learning curve there. But in terms of his intensity, his effort, his toughness, it's all there. And understand the position will come in time.
Back to the heat real quick. I mean, I know it's a problem that you have every year, but I mean, do you dial back on how hard you push you guys when the temperature gets this high?
I think through the years as coaches, we've gotten a lot smarter. There was a time when you just kept going and acted like it wasn't any different. But we all know that research has shown that, and I think the other thing is by hydrating as much as we have and being smart, we had a pretty good productive practice, for a good length of time out here, and they were moving pretty well at the end. So I think that's that we're doing the right thing.
Do you think it really helps their conditioning, especially once they get longer into the season? I mean, is that something that
being in the heat?
Yeah.
I don't know if it helps their conditioning, but it gets them acclimated to the heat if you're going to play. And it's like anything else. If you haven't been in the heat like this, it's going to sap you. Just like if you go play in the mountains, the home team has an advantage because you're not acclimated to it, or wherever you may go. But so certainly the acclimation helps. But our guys worked a lot at the end of this summer in the afternoon, just so they would get acclimated to it. And I think they've held up very, very well.
How's this linebacking unit different now when you lose guys like Mayberry and Patterson, have all these other new guys?
Yeah, well, I think having Tyler really helps because he's a constant. And really Leon Beckham. I mean, Leon's been in the program, and he's a good football player. Jeff Thomas coming in as a JC guy really helps because he's an older. He's really going on his 4th year out of high school, so he's got some maturity to him that I think really helps. And then Chad Shear being in the program now, going on his 3rd year. And then the young guys are good football players. Damon Sims and Griffin Dahlstrom and DJ Carr Watson. They're all very, very good football players. Brandon McGee's been in the program a long time. So, but they have some talent, and they're competitive guys. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out once we get through camp.
How did things change for them and with the new alignment and everything like that?
Not a lot.
One
of the things that when we talked about it in the off season, the play of the linebackers was, we wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be too complicated for them, that their fits and their reads and the different fronts wouldn't be too confusing for them. And I think the defensive staff's done a great job of mixing the two, where it's not confusing. And we've only been 4 practices, but we put a lot of our defense in as well as they've seen a lot of offense, and it doesn't seem like we have a lot of confusion. So I think the staff's done a good job, and it's a pretty smart group of linebackers when you look at the group we have.
Do you see these guys blitzing more when you're using these kind of alignments? I mean,
I think
I
think so. I think we certainly want to have a little bit more movement. We want to have a little more variety to the blitzes, I think, probably as much as anything.
Do you think that this fits these guys? I mean, do you have a lot of guys that you feel good about getting pressure on the quarterback? I
really do. I think that, it's in some ways, some of these names are unknowns, but they aren't to us. And I think as a staff, and I think within this football team, they're very, very, they like playing football. They've worked hard to prepare for their opportunity, and I think they will through camp. I think it's going to be a good defensive unit.
How much, at what point do you want to set starters on that unit, or is that something that you want
I'm
to
not too
rotate a lot?
concerned right now. I don't even worry about it until we get through the first big scrimmage. Then you start scaling down from there. I think, and that's one of the things we've been smart. Out here in the heat, we've continued to practice, but we've given everybody a lot of reps, so we haven't just worn out a certain group, which I think gives everybody an opportunity to show what they can do. Okay, thanks.